started that, hopefully. Great. All right, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to review some numbers first. So the fundraising income report. I have really great news to share about fiscal year 24 fundraising. We have done extremely well this year, and we're already at 130% of our total goal as of June 11th, 2024. Annual Congress donations, giving for fiscal year 25, membership dues and other donations are still being collected through August. So we are definitely going to surpass 130% of our goal. Thank you for everyone who is donating and continues to donate. But like I said, as you can see, our total giving goal, we're at 130% and counting.
Totally good.
Excellent. Some of our successes. On the agenda, you'll see the foundation's fiscal year 24 accomplishments listed. Our 2024 annual report is at the printer and includes detailed information regarding fiscal year 24 programs and award recipients. Sorry, award recipients, and so much more. For those of you who will be representing the foundation, um, to your fellow students and at your state meetings, feel free to use the annual report as a tool. It is very valuable, and once available, there will be a link sent out that links you to the report. But if you would like hard copies to share with your classmates or at your state meetings, please reach out to us, and we will definitely send you copies of this. And like I said, it shares a variety of information about our scholarship awards, how much money we've raised, and where our money is being donated to. For fiscal year 24, the foundation board really decided to focus on our Friends for Life program. And we made several policy changes and sharing this information with the membership in many ways. So we've contacted members through emails, through direct mail letters, through board assistance, and our marketing material. I'm happy to announce that this has resulted in 35 new Friends for Life members. So that's amazing. These 35 people will be recognized on stage at annual Congress. And once again, Friends for Life is when people decide to make a donation to the foundation. It could be a planned giving, like something stated in your will in your will, or it can be a cash donation over several years. But it's a donation of $25,000. And like I said, we have 35 people planning to make that commitment to the ANA Foundation. As of January 1st, 2025, the planned giving will increase from $25,000 to $35,000. So I think this was a motivating factor for people who are already on the fence. But 35 is one of the largest numbers we've ever had. So we are really excited about that. We've included a link in the agenda for our fiscal year 25 program application deadlines. Please review the deadlines and share with your state and programs. The foundation's summer update is currently in the works and will be sent out with the other follow-up from this meeting. Once received, please send out to your state donors or share with other students in your nurse anesthesia program. So these are some examples of, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, Shanisha, I took your part. I'm talking for a really long time.
I was like, she'll notice it eventually.
I noticed.
As Toyin was saying, these are some of the examples that you'll see when you arrive at annual Congress if you're going, and you'll just see that the banner is up on the table as well as a banner that stands in the hallway, so it's pretty noticeable. For fiscal year 25, you will see some updated advocate presentations. They will be sent out to you by Luann and Alyssa. One of the most important duties as a foundation advocate is to share foundation information with your CRNAs in your state or with SRNAs, RRNAs in your program. We offer materials and tools to help with this. Pictured in the agenda are the foundation table runners and banners. Printed materials like the annual report and brochures are also available. And you can just contact as well. It says for additional advocate guidance that Toyin and myself did the Maryland State conference last year, and she just brought a bunch of items and brochures, and we had them out on the table. So it's just very easy to acquire, and it makes your table look beautiful, and then it also helps you with talking points to give out to people. Updated PowerPoint presentations for FY24 are currently being created. As a reminder for state advocates, please reach out to state leadership to present or host a foundation booth at upcoming fall meetings like we did last year. And then for student advocates, please set up a time to share the foundation presentation with fellow students. The donor list will be sent to state advocates after the close of fiscal year 24. And then also for state advocates, just please send a note or letter or an email to recognize your state donors, thanking them for the donations that they have made. Wilma Gillis is our advocate liaison and has many years of experience as a member of the AANA board, as well as a board chair, state advocate, and advocate liaison. You can always feel free to contact any of us, as well as Wilma, to ask questions or to brainstorm on how you connect with other students or program or SRNA or CRNAs in your state as well. Gonna pass it on to Alyssa for the social media.
Awesome. Thanks, Shanisha. So obviously, as a state and a student advocate, one of the main goals of the program is to help us spread the word about the foundation. And a great way to do that is through social media. Please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Flickr, and share and like and interact with our content whenever possible. This helps us reach the largest amount of people that we can. So help us spread the word through social media. Our upcoming FY 2025 meetings are going to be for state advocates the first Tuesday, which will be 10/8, 24, and then in the new year 4/1 and 7/22, which is the annual Congress All Advocate Informational Meeting. For state advocates, the meetings will take place on the first Monday or Tuesday, and the meeting dates are as follows: 11/4/24 in the new year, 2/3/25, 5/6/24, and 7/22/25. Next steps. Check out the and bid on our Foundation Favorites online auction. So our online auction has now launched and it's available to bid on. So check out our online auction items. We have a lot of great options, a lot of art this year, luxury items. So definitely check it out and bid, and you can participate in the online auction from anywhere. That's what's so great about it. Student advocates, please reach out to your program director regarding a foundation presentation to students in your nurse anesthesia program if you have not already done so in fiscal year 2023 or 2024. Sorry, I'm losing it. Once available, distribute the summer update to students in your nurse anesthesia program. And if you are applying for the student advocate meeting sponsorship, we're going to be talking more about annual Congress and the process for the sponsorship after this. So yeah, but you can always reach out to me if you have any questions via email. State advocates, please register for annual Congress and purchase your tickets to the Foundation Awards luncheon and to the Champagne Gala in honor of Lorraine Jordan, and encourage others to do the same. Reach out to state leaders regarding your fall state meeting and request booth space. And then you can also contact Luann and myself to request materials. And as others have mentioned, we will have brand new annual reports for you to hand out. We have a brand new Friends for Life brochure that you can hand out as well. And then also the table runner and the pop-up banner that we pictured in the agenda. And then as mentioned also previously, we will be sending out the FY24 donor lists. So once you receive your donor lists, acknowledge your state donors and help us to recognize them. And that would be great. So thank you for all you do in representing the AANA Foundation. we're going to move sort of into the area where we talk about Annual Congress. So if you plan to attend Annual Congress, please participate in part 2 of tonight's meeting that discusses Annual Congress happenings. And if you cannot attend Annual Congress, you can still participate in the Foundation Favorites online auction, which is linked in the agenda. So yeah, anyone who is going to be attending Annual Congress, or if you're just interested to see what the foundation activities are at Annual Congress, please stay on the call. Otherwise, you can step off the call and we are going to get into the details. I will go ahead and pass it over to Luann.
Great, thanks, Alyssa. Yes, we're so excited. We are really in planning mode now. To get to Annual Congress in San Diego. And thank you so much to all of the student advocates that have volunteered to help out and then apply for the meeting sponsorship. We're so happy to have your assistance. Go over a little bit of what we've planned to date for Annual Congress. We'll always have a booth. So we have our foundation booth, and it's going to be located near registration. And basically, this is home base at Annual Congress for the foundation, staff, board, and volunteers. So if you're going to be applying for the meeting sponsorship, then definitely you will be attending. We'll be meeting with you, and you'll be attending certain things. But if you're not, if you're just attending the meeting, please stop by and introduce yourself and say hello, and check out what we have going on at the foundation booth. Historically, we've always had the State of the Science e-poster session in conjunction or near the foundation booth, which is convenient. This year, the posters are going to be moved into the exhibit hall. So we're actually going to have 2 home bases at Annual this year. So during exhibit hall hours, the State of the Science poster session will be located there. And that's so something different. So it's an even extra, we're extra thankful to have student advocates helping out, because we're going to need some people at the booth. We're going to need some people at the e-posters. And then we also have the top abstract oral poster presentations where we could use your assistance. But anyway, so what takes place at the booth? Everything. We have signage for all sorts of things. Our Champagne Gala that will take place, the Lorraine Jordan Legacy Fund. People stop by to ask questions. We have our brochures there. We also give out ribbons according to the giving that they have done. So that's what's going on at the booth. We'll also have an e-monitor that's going to be playing a slideshow with rolling slides. This year's Annual Congress is really very much focused on the AANA Foundation CEO, Dr. Lorraine Jordan, who after many, many years with the AANA and the AANA Foundation is retiring her full-time position at the end of August. So basically at the end of shortly after Annual Congress. So that's why you're hearing so much about Lorraine this year. And she's a fabulous leader, a fabulous boss, a fabulous CRNA. So I hope each of you that those of you going to the meeting, make sure you get a chance to go to Lorraine Jordan and shake her hand, because honestly, she is a living legend. And we just think the world of her. So, but anyways, moving on. In addition to what we have going on at the booth, which also includes Watchful Care Volume 2 book sales, we have those as well. We will be hosting a award and recognition luncheon in conjunction with the AANA. And this luncheon recognizes some of the AANA award recipients, some of the foundation award recipients, and the newest class of AANA fellows. That is on Saturday. And then immediately following is the opening ceremony. So we'll get into a little bit more details about that. But the luncheon is not open. It's open to anyone, but it's a ticketed event. So if you're interested in going, you have to purchase a ticket to that one. In addition, we have the State of the Science General e-poster session, which I talked about. We'll have 10 electric monitors located in the exhibit hall. You can also access those posters on the mobile app. So once you get to the meeting, you'll have the mobile app. You'll either download it to your phone or refresh if you've been to a meeting in the past for the new data to come up. And you can actually zoom in and read all the posters from anywhere you want during the meeting. In addition to the e-posters, we set aside times on Sunday and Monday where the poster presenters each have an hour time slot to sit or stand near their poster and be there to answer any questions. So those 10 people are going to change. We want to make sure they can access their posters, get their ribbons, they get presentation ribbons, and just sort of help with flow in the room. That takes place Sunday and Monday, those 1 hour presentations. Outside of those presentation hours, the posters are, those monitors are available at any time for anyone to look up a poster they're interested in. And then the State of the Science oral poster presentation takes place on Monday, and we have 4 1 hour blocks. During each block, they're listed here, are 4 presentations. So these are the top abstracts from the submissions, and the individual will get about 10 minutes to present, then a few minutes for Q&A, and then it's on to the next person. So it's something that we're proud of. It's fun. It's fun watching people present. It's fun learning. So we'll definitely have many of you volunteering in the room, but also, you know, support your fellow students and researchers and just go in and sit and listen to a few that pique your interest. Then finally, we have the Anesthesia Pioneers meeting. No, not finally. This year, it's an intergenerational presentation and discussion, and it's on philanthropic nurse anesthesiology volunteering. So if you've ever been interested in volunteering in the US or abroad using your CRNA skills, this is the session for you. We are encouraging each of you to attend this session. Our Champagne Gala is Sunday night from 7 to 11, recognizing Lorraine Jordan. And I've listed our sponsors here because I just always want to get a shout out to them as much as I can. So they're all listed here. The auction we've talked about already. And next is the 2024 advocate schedule. So here is where we've put together for the day how and where we want you to participate. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Alyssa, who will talk you through this.
Alrighty. So I have pulled up the advocate schedule, our student advocate meeting sponsorship schedule. So we're going to just go through each day and sort of discuss each day and go over the schedule. I will be sending out the schedule following the meeting, and the schedule is not necessarily final. If you have a conflict that you see that I maybe missed in filling out this spreadsheet and comparing to the other spreadsheet, the sign up form that we have, just shoot me an email or drop me a message and let me know. But we're going to sort of go through the schedule now. So as you can see, we have our volunteers listed here. So if you don't see your name listed on the side, please let me know. If you see your name listed and you're no longer attending, also please let me know. So Friday, we have on-site registration that begins at 6 in the morning. And we will have our foundation booth is near registration. And that's sort of our foundation home booth or home base. So that is where you can pretty much find Luann and I most of the time, unless we're doing events and other things. But the foundation's home booth is going to be, home base is the booth that is near registration. So if you are available on Friday, I know many of you are arriving Friday, So don't push yourself to like come volunteer with us necessarily. But if you're around and you're available on Friday and you would like to come say hello and check out the foundation booth, we would love it if you'd come by and sit with us and volunteer with us a little bit on the first day here. The next sort of thing that I want to bring to your attention is anything that's sort of this like vanilla-y orangey color. Those are optional things that we think that you might be interested in, but are not required for you to attend. So on Friday, we have the AANA Board of Directors meeting. There's also an open town hall portion of that that is always very interesting. So if you would like to attend that, we list that as an optional event. And then the exhibit hall and e-posters, we will be setting those up. So that's not really a activity, but just more of something to note. The resident advocate training will take place, and this is sort of an important thing that we do. So the resident advocate training will take place at 3:30 p.m. on Friday, and we will meet at the booth probably, Luann, unless you want them to meet us directly at the suite. What do you think, Luann? Should we meet at the booth first and then take them to the suite? Is that what we're doing?
I think maybe we should just meet in the suite.
Okay.
That way we can be there in advance. So we'll make sure that you have our cell phone numbers in the information that we send you so that they can text us. How does that sound? Because it'll take a lot of our time waiting for everyone and then transferring as a group.
So yeah, we will meet at the Manchester Grand Hyatt. We will probably have to key you in to the foundation suite. So in my email that contains the schedule, I'll definitely include my cell phone number and Luann's cell phone number. And we will get you guys all in the suite and we will have our resident advocate training. So the resident advocate training really goes over all the details and everything you need to know as an AANE Foundation volunteer. We'll probably talk through the schedule a little bit more as well, and just let you know all the things that go into working the booth so that you're prepared for your volunteer shift. I noted there are some people who may not be able to attend this, but if you can attend, it is probably the most important thing to get all the information as possible. But if you are unable to attend, that's okay too. Luann and I will bring you up to speed. So for Saturday, on-site registration, that training is at 3:30 p.m. on Friday. I just got asked a question in the chat, so I just wanted to readdress that. So yeah, 3:30 p.m. at the Foundation Suite. So Saturday, our booth hours. So you're going to have a volunteer shift at the booth on Saturday morning. Many of you will. We have shifts beginning at 8 a.m. and going till 1:45 p.m. We also have some people who will not have a shift officially that day at the booth, but rather you will be taking tickets for our awards and recognition luncheon, so that Luann and I can be in the room and make sure that we're getting everyone situated there as well. So we will have some volunteers taking tickets, and then we will also have a couple volunteers who will sort of just like go past the exhibit hall and spend an hour there and make sure that there's no presenter scheduled for that e-poster session, but we just want to make sure that everything is running smoothly and maybe give you the opportunity to acquaint yourself with that area. Then after the awards and recognition luncheon, and the exhibit hall will also open, the opening ceremonies begins. And this is like an important activity at Annual Congress that we just feel that every student resident should experience. So we put that as a mandatory activity. And then the opening ceremonies will flow into the keynote speaker. And we also feel that this is an important activity, something that we really want you guys to experience. So we ask that everyone attend those two events. Then we will have the AANA welcome reception. It's a party with a purpose. So for this, you can bring toiletries or wellness items, and it actually equals drink tickets, which is exciting and fun. So this is not a mandatory activity, but we encourage you guys to attend if you're not doing anything else. Of course, if you have dinner plans or other plans, that's totally okay too. But it's going to be a really cool event. It's at the USS Midway Museum. And yeah, it's from 6:30 to 10 p.m. Anyone have any questions so far before I continue into Sunday? Okay, great. We're going to continue into Sunday though. Then, so again, we have some booth hours. So we have some people who will be volunteering with us at the booth, which as I mentioned previously, is located near registration. And this is our home base. And then there's the Jan Stewart Memorial Wellness Lecture. So this is something that the foundation actually like monetarily supports. And it's not a required activity, but if you have nothing else going on and you're not volunteering during that time, we encourage you guys to attend. It's usually a really interesting lecture about wellness. Next is the Anesthesia Pioneers meeting. And this is an intergenerational discussion about volunteering. So Luann mentioned this earlier in the phone call. This is something that we would like you all to attend. This is put on by Wilma Gillis and others who are anesthesia pioneers and who are really great people that we feel like you should definitely get the opportunity to listen to. So we encourage you all to attend this, and this is a mandatory activity. But I think you will really enjoy participating in that. And that is from 10 to 11:30. And now some of you may be scheduled for a volunteer shift. So please attend this if you are able to and you're not volunteering. Next, we get into the exhibit hall and state of the science general e-poster sessions. So during this time, many of you will have volunteer time slots, and we will have instructions for you there. But some of the main things that we want to make sure that you guys are doing when you come to the e-posters is you're going to want to make sure that the people who are scheduled to present their posters aren't having any problems with pulling up their posters. And if they need some help, it'll be easy for you to sort of like search for their poster, their title, and then you help them pull it up on the screen. And then we want you to interact with the poster presenters, ask them questions, make sure that they get their poster presenter ribbon, which we'll have available on site. And yeah, you're just sort of there to troubleshoot and make sure every e-poster presenter has been like sort of interacted with. We don't want anybody to not be asked any questions. And it's a great opportunity for you guys as well to see what the e-poster session is like and learn some new research that is coming out on the posters. So yeah, the next item that we have is the College Bowl. That is from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And this is not a mandatory activity. However, it's a really fun student geared activity. So we really encourage you guys to attend and check it out. Always a lot of fun. And Michael Greco has hosted in the past and he's on our board. I think he just introduced himself in the chat. So it's just really a fun event. And if you get the opportunity to go, we encourage you to. Next, we have the AANE Foundation fundraiser. So the AANE Foundation fundraiser this year is going to be a really packed event. And it's a really special event because we're doing a champagne gala in honor of Lorraine Jordan, who is our AAD Foundation CEO, who is retiring. So we sometimes we have more spots available for like after 9 tickets and such, but this year we're really tight on space. So we are only going to have 3 people who actually previously signed up in the document to volunteer with us, who will get like a full sort of event experience. So those 3 people are going to be Kelsey, Whitney, and Padma. So you guys had indicated in the spreadsheet when signing up for the meeting that you were interested in volunteering for the gala. So if you're still available, we would love for you to volunteer with us from like 6:30 to 10 p.m. And we will rotate you guys into different like volunteer positions during the evening. But you will receive a meal for this volunteer shift. And you'll get to experience our full AAD Foundation fundraising event. If you'd like to purchase a ticket and you're not volunteering, you're welcome to do that. Still, I think through AAD registration, but we are only going to have 3 volunteer slots for this event. So that sort of opens the rest of you up to do other things during that evening. So yeah. We're going to move into Monday. Does anybody have any questions for me so far? Okay, awesome. I love that. That's great. That means I'm doing a good job explaining, so that's good. Okay, so on Monday, we again will have some people who will have some shifts at the AAD Foundation booth, home base, year registration. We will be there 7:30 to 4:30-ish. And then there will be a program director's breakfast that day that you guys really don't need to pay attention to. And then we have some people who will be working the general e-poster shifts. This is like the most day. This is the day that you guys will be like the most spread out because we need volunteers in like 3 different places. So we'll need volunteers at the foundation booth, at the exhibit hall, and we will need people to volunteer at the State of the Science top abstract presenters, aka oral posters. So one important thing to note is that oral posters is different than the general e-poster session. So basically, the oral posters is in couple of you are actually going to be giving an oral poster presentation. But basically oral posters are when somebody gets up in the front of the room and they actually like talk about their poster. And for this volunteer shift, we really need people to like sit in the back of the room and just make sure everything is going smoothly. Making sure, because people kind of like come in and out, making sure that the door remains closed and keeping people quiet if they begin like getting a little loud. This gets a lot of traffic, and some people like will only come in and pop in to see their friend who's presenting and then leave. So we usually need student resident volunteers sort of to just like make sure the door stays closed, make sure things are running smoothly. And we'll have directions for that as well. But that is sort of what that entails. And that is on Monday only. After the State of the Science top abstract presentations slot here, we have the student resident luncheon, which will take place from 12 to 1:30 p.m. So for the student resident luncheon, every single student who's attending Annual Congress is invited to this luncheon. It is a part of your registration. So make sure that when you get your registration, that you have like a ticket for this event. Luann, I'm pretty sure that they get a ticket. I don't want to speak out and say that they're going to get a ticket for sure and then have them not get a ticket, but okay,
No.
you're sure.
You have to register for this event, even though it's complimentary. If you don't have a ticket, they won't let you in the room. So
So that has
Make
changed from the past.
sure you get
Sorry, I
the
misspoke
ticket.
on that. Right. yes. So make sure you register and say that you're going to attend the student resident luncheon. But this is for students, and make sure that you have a ticket attached to your registration because they will collect your tickets at the door. But this is a really cool luncheon that's like dedicated to students. And it's also a cool luncheon because if you were a scholarship recipient, a lot of the scholarship sponsors will be there. And we just recognize students at that student luncheon. So that is a great one to attend if you are registered for it. And then if you guys are available after that luncheon around 3:30, we're going to be closing our online auction. So we invite you guys, if you're available, to swing by the foundation booth and just check in on us. It would be great if you could just say, hey, how you guys doing? I'm available. And if we need any help, we will use your help. It can be kind of a chaotic time trying to get all the auction winners lined up with their prizes and just notifying them. They'll be notified automatically by email, but then we like to try to have our auction winners stop by and pick up their items so that we don't have to ship them home to them is usually the best way, or we ship them home to them. So if you're available on Monday at 3:30, we would appreciate your help. And then Tuesday morning, um, we have we will be at the booth again, and from 7:30 to 12:30, and we will be dismantling and packing up by noon that day. So if you're going to be around and you're available to help us, we encourage you again to swing by the foundation booth and just see if we need any help. We may not need your help, but we may need your help. So those are sort of a couple of slots where we ask you sort of to do that. So a couple things to note in general. So the way that it looks is like everybody has like about at least an hour a day where they're volunteering with us. However, that's just what you're assigned right now. So, but we really encourage you to like swing by the foundation booth or e-posters or other areas that we may need help with throughout the meeting and say, hey, how are you guys doing? Do you guys need any help? Even if it's just for like an extra half an hour or 45 minutes, that really helps us out and just helps us keep coverage going during and throughout the meeting. So while you have these assigned shifts, we also really welcome you to volunteer with us when possible and when you're available. And obviously, we want to make sure that you guys have time to like eat your lunch and go to sessions that you enjoy. So obviously, we don't expect you to be volunteering with us the entire time. We really want you to have a great experience at the meeting and experience the meeting fully. But yeah, whenever you're available to help us out, we would appreciate it. I see some comments in the chat. I will be sending the Excel spreadsheet after the meeting, as I mentioned that previously. But I just wanted to go through this with you guys first to make sure that we don't have any conflicts. So if anybody has any conflicts, like where you see this like shift and you know that you already have a conflict, I think I got most of them in the spreadsheet. But if you have a conflict, please let me know and I'll be sending this out following the meeting. And then I see another question here from Kelsey. Is there a certain attire for volunteering for the gala? So the attire for the gala is semi-formal or formal attire. But as a volunteer, if you don't have like a super fancy outfit, no worries. I would just try to wear like all black or like a business casual dress or business casual like pants and a top. I mean, really, as a volunteer, you don't need to get dressed up, but if you'd like to get dressed up, you are more than welcome to get dressed up and be dressed up with us for the event. All right. I think I covered it. Luann, is there anything that I missed that you think we need to cover?
No, not really. Not that I know of. As Alyssa said, with so many students coming to this meeting, hopefully there'll be just people around a lot that it won't be a burden one. And we're really looking forward to getting to meet each of you and get to know you and give you a good experience at the meeting as far as the meeting in general and working with the foundation.
Awesome. I see another question from Allie about piggybacking off of Kelsey. So should volunteers dress business casual for other volunteer shifts outside of the gala? I would say, yeah, business casual attire is perfectly all right. Yep.
Yeah, I would say that the meeting in general, for those who haven't been, is business casual. It's people are dressed nicely. I don't know how else to describe it, but you don't really see a lot of jeans or real casual clothes. I think people are dressed in general.
You know, Luann, can I just say something?
Yes, please.
Hi, everyone. You know, what I always say, and I would tell my students over the years, is that you dress as if you're on your first job interview, because you're going to be networking, you're going to be collaborating, you're going to be meeting new people. So maybe that is your first job interview. So, you know, first impressions always last. So you want to dress the part. We're professionals, we're CRNAs, so you're going to look the part. So that's all I'm going to say. I can't wait to see you all there.
That's perfect. Thank you.
All right. And that is great advice. So I am actually going to go ahead and next I'm going to pull up our student advocate meeting sponsorship addendum. So for the process of applying for student advocate meeting sponsorship following the meeting. So you will basically, after the meeting is over and you've all traveled home, there's no crazy rush. You will receive an email from me in about a week that has the student advocate meeting sponsorship application attached to it. It will also have the student advocate meeting sponsorship addendum attached to it, but I will also be attaching this addendum that is meeting specific for this meeting to the meeting or to the email that I will be sending following this meeting as well. But you will get the application, the addendum. You'll also receive a blank W-9 to fill out. Please fill that out completely when applying for the sponsorship and make sure you sign it because a lot of people forget to sign it. And then you will also fill out a check request form. So following the meeting, I will send out all 4 of those documents in an email to all of you. And you will fill those out. You'll have about 3 weeks to fill those out following the meeting and then return them to me. And then we will go ahead and the board has to approve your meeting sponsorship. And then once those approvals are approved by the board, then you will receive a check in the mail. And that is sort of the back end follow-up process to volunteering at the meeting. So this is the meeting specific addendum. And I would say that this is the most important piece of paper that you need to pay attention to. And this basically has all the mandatory activities that we want you to do in order to be eligible to receive the student advocate meeting sponsorship. So we want you to attend the booth training. We want you to have volunteered at the foundation booth. And when you're at the foundation booth, we will also go over this in person at our booth training, but it's important that you promote AAD Foundation programs, AAD Foundation events, encourage online auction bids, facilitate donations, and distribute ribbons to donors, and just basically be at the booth and help us accomplish whatever we need to accomplish. We would like you to have volunteered at the State of the Science General e-poster session or attended it. And then we also want you to attend and volunteer at the State of the Science top abstract / oral posters. we put attended / volunteered. So obviously, if you have a volunteer shift, we want you to volunteer for your whole shift. So you should have volunteered, but just the way that the schedule worked out this year, some of you may not have been scheduled for a top abstract oral poster time slot. So if you're not scheduled for that, we still encourage you to attend it because it's really it's a great thing for you guys to experience as a meeting attendee. We want you to attend the student luncheon if you're registered and get registered for that if you haven't done so already. We want you to attend the opening ceremonies and the keynote speaker, which is Saturday, 1:45 to 4 o'clock. And we also want you to attend that pioneers meeting that we talked about that's intergenerational and about volunteering. And then we really also want you guys throughout the meeting to be posting to AANA Foundation social. So you can just tag the foundation on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, etc. And we will go ahead and if you tag us, we will reshare you. And then if, also if you're not comfortable doing that, and in addition to doing that, we would love if you would submit photos to me directly. The easiest way for me to get them is for you to just email them to me, but please email me photos throughout the meeting. That really helps me. And I think it's like a great way to see what you guys are like doing and up to and what you found to be interesting and engaging through pictures. So and then we'd also like to ask you guys to write us a testimonial. So a lot of times this gets kind of like forgotten, but really, we really want at the foundation, we really want to start telling your guys' stories, like who you are as a student and why you are, attending the meeting, what you got out of the meeting, why you feel it's valuable to be an AANA Foundation advocate. We really want to capture that in your own words so that we can go ahead and share it with others and promote the foundation and promote the student advocate program and meeting sponsorship in general. So yeah. And then as we listed some like optional activities that we listed in the schedule, and then like down here, it gives you an opportunity to sort of like write that testimonial, but really be detailed here and give us some really like good content so that we can share about your experience. So just a couple things to note there. So yeah, that is about it. I will open it to any questions. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask and turn your camera on.
Melissa, I have one comment. I just wanted to say, I threw it in the chat, but all of the things that we talked about today, all of the things that we do at annual Congress, these are all things that the foundation either funds, supports, or hosts. So when you're here and when you're seeing what we do, it'll be better and easier for you explain to others. Be sure you pick one up and take it with you, because when you flip through that report, that's really an overview of the foundation's work of that year. Then when you're just know that nationally there are 3 or 4 AANA meetings per year, and the foundation has a presence at each one of those, trying to connect with our CRNAs and nurses, anesthesiologists, and just tell our story. People interested in not only being a CRNA, but getting involved in the profession and really strengthening the profession. Thanks. Are there any other questions then? Well, great. We're before time. If you have any additional questions, please reach out to any of us. And we will get you the answers you need. And we really look forward to connecting with you.
Luann, how can we find the online
Anything you want to
auction?
share?
How do we find the web
Okay,
address for the
it's-
online auction so we could pass that
It
around?
is, yes, it's in the agenda. In the agenda or minutes will come out with this, a recap of them that will be in there.
Right.
Will this
Yeah.
video be emailed to us? Yes, we can send the link to the recording, correct, Alyssa?
Yeah, we will also send out a link to the recording. And then, yeah, Michael, the online auction is in the agenda, but we will also be sending out our summer update via email to all members, likely first thing tomorrow morning. And we'll also be starting to post to social media. We just have had a lot of last minute submissions to the online auction. So we wanted to make sure it was complete as possible. And then we will also send a link to the recording. Link with the recording will be sent in the meeting follow-up as well.
Who says the head?
All right. Well, I hope everyone is getting excited for annual Congress. We're really excited to work with all of you and get to know you all better and see you at the meeting. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great night. All right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night. Thanks for coming.
Good night.